Today's the day, you guys. I'm gonna tackle J-Lo. Like, physically, I'm gonna no, that's not right. Or is it? No. Happy Friday, everybody. Welcome back to the DIY Designer. My name is Orly Shani. Thank you so much for being here. I gotta say, you're here on a good day. You're here on a really good day because I'm super stoked about today's video. Did you guys see J-Lo at the Oscars? Man, she showed up looking like a goddamn glamorous disco ball. She wore a custom Tom Ford mirrored dress. Her dress is amazing, but it's a lot. It is long sleeve, floor length, turtleneck, solid mirror all the way down. Then she wore her hair down. Then she had A-Rod next to her. I mean, like, how much can one woman take? And if you're not J-Lo and you're not at the Oscars, it's kind of like, when can you really wear this? So I wanted to make a more wearable version. I wore it to a red carpet, and I am telling you, I could not walk more than 5 feet without being stopped. I got stopped by like the catering staff, the bartenders. It was a Hallmark event. All the like Hallmark stars were coming up. Really handsome Hallmark movie stars would be like, you win. I don't know what the contest is, but you win. And would walk away, and I was like, oh my God, I made my dress, stop it. I have 2 bits of really good news. Bit number 1, I bought way too much mirror. This is the extra right here. I bought a lot of mirror. So the good news is that I've got enough to do a giveaway. So you guys can make like a blazer or make your own dress or a skirt. Cameron, what else?
A leather jacket.
A leather freaking jacket. Nailed it. I'm gonna give away 3 packets. So to enter the giveaway, all you guys have to do is screenshot this photo right here, screenshot this, share this on your social media, whatever social media you want, and add in the link to the video. And then just make sure to tag me so I can see it. I'll give away 3. You guys will have all the materials that you need to make your own. So that's bit 1. Bit 2, I'm so excited because this video is sponsored by Skillshare, which is like the most kick-ass online learning community. They have over like almost 30,000 courses. I just started editing all my own videos. That was not always the case. So I'm able to go on there, take a full course on Final Cut, which is what I use, how to edit with Final Cut. You can learn how to write. There's finance classes like how to invest in the stock market, graphic design. It's not like you searching for like one random class here and there. It's an actual curriculum that's been developed by an expert. It's just a really smart way to learn, and it's summertime. You know, you got 2 months. The first line of the description box, I will have the link. It will give you 2 months of premium for free. It's only $8 a month after that for like all the classes that you want. So it's pretty cool, and I'm really stoked, and I'm really appreciative that they made this video possible. Okay, let's get right into materials. So here are all of the mirror tiles that I bought. I will link below what I got, but basically you just want to buy 2 packets of each shape and then divide them between the front and the back. So here is the front and here is the back, and I'm gonna put the ones for the back off to the side so that I don't accidentally use them. This is just how you guarantee that it'll be even. All right, so now it's time to start with the first piece. You gotta start somewhere. So I found the right fit for my first piece, and when I started this process off, I was doing it so inefficiently. I end up coming up with like a way faster way of doing this. But to start off, I was literally sewing each piece on like a button, holding it into place with my hand and then just stitching through the holes, tacking it down. Once I did one piece, I was like, okay, I need to be doing like multiple pieces at a time here to actually make this work. But once I laid them down and picked it up to hand sew, they all obviously just fell away out of place. So I went and grabbed my gem tack, and I 1000% recommend using this glue. It is crazy strong. One thing about this glue though to note is that it does take a minute to set up. So you can see I glued it down and then went to hand sew, and obviously it hadn't set up yet, so they just moved around. So in the beginning, this process was a little frustrating because I was not doing it efficiently. So here you can see I've got a nice big chunk, and what I learned was what you want to do is actually, like a puzzle, leave it on your table and go in and add in like, I don't know, 5 or 6 pieces, like a little section, lay them out, figure out which piece fits where, what looks good. Once you have about 5 or 6 pieces, pick up each one of those pieces and add the gem tack to the back of those pieces. Lay them back down flat, and you want to put something on top of it to sort of like weigh it down so it has time to dry. As time went on, I ended up using like books or candles, things that really weighed it down. You're gonna wanna do maybe like 20 or 30 pieces just glued at a time. Once those 30 pieces are done, just grab your dress, sit on the couch, put on a movie, and just hand sew them all into place. Doing large sections like this saves such an insane amount of time, and it really was like, I ended up making like a lot of progress. So now this is where I decided to stop the heavy saturation. I was going on an angle and it was originally an accident, but I actually really liked it. So I decided to work with it. At this point, we're starting kind of the ombre fading out effect. So for my next row, I'm gonna start putting each piece about 1/4 inch away from the last piece. And this is when things really start moving fast because it's no longer a perfect fit. As long as it just sort of works within the space, you can get away with making it work. You don't need those exact pieces. Again, lay out about 10 to 12 pieces, pick each piece up, add a little bit of gem tack to the back of it and lay it back down. You're gonna weigh it down with some books and then you can get in there and hand sew. So here it is, this first section here, again, it's just glued, but you can see how the fading is starting to look. That section there looked a little small to me, so I decided to beef it up and do like a double row. You'll see now I move on to about 1/2 inch apart. So the first section was about 1/4 inch, then I move on to about 1/2 inch, then I move on to 3/4, and then 1 inch until I start to get the fade that I want. Now when you hand sew it, this is something else that I learned. It's so much easier to bring the needle up just right next to the mirror tile and go down through the hole. I don't know why, but when I first did it, I was doing it like a button where I was sort of blindly coming up through the hole, but it was taking so much longer because I needed to like blindly find that hole. Just come up right next to it and go down through the hole. It'll move a whole lot faster. Now, when you're at the end of your thread, you need to knot it off. So grab a teeny bit of fabric there, hold open the thread so that you don't actually finish the stitch, put your needle through the thread, and then you end up with a knot. So now do the same thing. Grab a little bit, put your needle through the hole, and then pull tight, and you've knotted it off. So now I was moving on to the back, and I realized there was something I never showed you guys. Something that's super helpful is to use like gardening shears or just super strong scissors, and you can actually cut clean the mirror tiles into these exact little spaces that are going to be really helpful for like awkward random gaps that you might have. It really helps. This is another thing I want to mention that is super important. Had I chosen to not use a stretch dress, using the gem tack and only the gem tack would have been 100% strong enough. Because my dress was stretch, I needed to hand sew them down because when I stretched it on my body, some of those pieces could pop off. But if you just make sure to use a dress that's not stretch at all, the glue is totally strong enough and it will save you so much time. All right, so here's the dress. I'm basically done. You can see that it's super spaced out on the bottom and it just starts to get a little more saturated as we work our way up. At this point though, each piece of mirror still has the protective covering on it. I decided to leave them on while I worked to protect them. Again, this is something if I could do it all over again, I wouldn't. Because I sewed the protective covering into place, so when I peeled them back, I needed to like use an X-Acto to cut the corners off so that I didn't end up ripping out the thread. So again, what I'd recommend doing is peel each mirror tile first, then put it into place and just make sure that you've got something like soft to protect it, like a blanket underneath. Because you can see here how easy it is to peel if you don't actually sew them down first. So just put a blanket down so that whichever side you're not working on that's face down, those mirror tiles stay protected and don't get scratched up. But everything is in place. You can see I peeled the mirror. It's got that beautiful fade and we are ready to go. All right, all of the plastic is peeled and it's like shiny and magnificent. I cannot wait for you guys to see it on. I'm getting my makeup done right now. I'm gonna leave here in about, 35 minutes. And I'm stoked, man. I can't wait. Let's see how it looks. Time, Orly. You are sparkling. Orly. Orly right here today. And Orly, one more.